I almost said this week's episode of Fated Mates is brought to you by...
Is sponsored by...
Sponsored by February.
Is sponsored by clothing.
Yes.
Romance clothing.
Romance wardrobe, I believe we...
Oh, is that what we're doing it fancy?
Well, you're the one who made it fancy because you're historical.
Yeah.
I'm a middle school teacher. There's nothing fancy about the clothes I wear around at any given point.
I mean, or me. Right now I'm wearing my workout clothes.
So yeah, we're going to do romance wardrobe and tell the readers why, Sarah, because it actually is driven by a very specific experience that Sarah has had, but I have not yet had.
No. So, okay, well, you all know that we're doing, one of my favorite things is that we did romance law and romance science and then romance horse. And now everybody in the sort of community of Fated Mates refers to things as romance, fill in the blank, romance noun.
Right. Romance law, romance medicine, romance therapy, right.
Romance logic, romance reasons. So we're talking about what episode we should do this week, and I will tell you all that. And so we usually work a few weeks out, and we like make a big list, and we say, all right, this is going to be the order. Jen keeps us on task. I just say, when are we recording, and what do I have to know? And so in this particular case, Jen was like, what about? I think we had romance wardrobe on the list. But I was like, well, let's do that because Wuthering Heights, scare quotes, Wuthering Heights is coming out. And I definitely am going to see it because I am a masochist.
You had a good time, though, it sounds like.
Actually, I really did have a great time, and I'll explain exactly. I'm going to give everybody exactly what you need to do in order to have a good time at scare quotes, Wuthering Heights by Emerald Fennell. And so, but here's the thing, even in the previews for this, I mean, I remember seeing a preview, not even a preview, I saw a photograph of Margot Robbie on the moors like a year and a half ago wearing a massive fucking cloud of a white wedding dress. And I was like, this movie is going to be bonkers.
Yeah.
And the internet exploded because white wedding dresses are not Bronte historically Bronte appropriate.
We're going to really learn some things today.
And I mean, this particular white wedding dress is, you don't see the whole thing, I think, in the preview, or maybe you do, but it is enormous. It has a veil that goes like over wide swaths of land. Like it is a very large wedding dress. So anyway, so I thought, well, I'm going to have seen Wuthering Heights. So we can talk a little bit about that, and then we can talk about romance wardrobe. And yes, you're right. I did make a list, but it's not entirely historical. Some of it is contemporary.
Oh, yeah. I have a couple. Mine is not entirely. I mean, I definitely have some historical shit because I'm not you.
Of course you do.
All I know about romance historical wardrobe, I learned from romance. So, I'm sure I have some crazy things I believe. Okay, but we should introduce the podcast.
We should. Welcome, everyone, to Fated Mates. I'm Sarah McLean. I read romance novels, and I write them.
And I'm Jennifer Prokop, a romance reader and romance reader and editor. And we're going to hear about... so everybody, I have not yet seen Scare Quotes Wuthering Heights.
Scare Quotes Wuthering Heights.
And the reason we keep saying it like that, is because apparently... I think I might have said this a few weeks ago, or maybe on Banter Plus, is apparently the studio sent out like a guide that was like, please refer to it as Scare Quotes Wuthering Heights if you're going to refer to it. It can't be just Wuthering Heights.
And truly it shouldn't be. I mean, okay, but I have to tell you all, and this is where, we're going to get serious, because I do think like, when you are of a certain age, if you do end up reading these sort of 19th century novels by women, it feels like the big three. And I know there are others, but like I know, for example, that our friends Adriana and Joanna would say Age of Innocence is that one. And that's fine. But I feel like there's a 19th century British women writing.
Sure, it's Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights, and Pride and Prejudice.
Exactly.
I know. Even you know.
And like, these three are very different texts. Although you can see, like, the Brontes definitely live on a different part of the tree than Austen. But, like, Austen is really interested in, like, society and, like, being witty and being clever and, like, you know, men with a lot of money who are, like, brought down a peg.
Yeah.
And the Bronte sisters are really interested in, like, how terrible can things get for these people who are hot for each other?
And the answer is pretty bad.
And it's like, one of them is like, how about a wife in the attic? And the other one's like, how about he digs up her corpse and fucks it?
These are dark days, and so even I'm like, maybe I should read these books again.
Now, listen, I hope you're not listening to this with children, because I don't envy you the conversation you're going to have about what I just said. Okay, so
too late to say headphones in, I guess, everybody.
I mean, it's not like it's a spoiler, is it? Like, it's pretty classic. Although I'm sure there's some, like, English major out there who's like, it's not technically in the text, but it is. So, anyway, when I was young, I read all of these books, and unfortunately for everyone in my life, Wuthering Heights was the one for me. And that is because Heathcliff is absolutely monstrous, but for sure just spends 90% of his time with Kathy with his head under her skirts. Which at the time I did not know was a possibility, but now I'm like, here's the hero who eats.
I believe that is also not textually supported, but you know,
it's the most obvious subtext you've ever read. You're an English teacher, Jen. You would get there immediately. You'd be like, and here is where the cunnilingus begins. 100 pages later, and here it ends. Because now she's a corpse.
Dead from fucking.
Okay. So anyway, listen, Heathcliff is feral. I don't know what else to say. He's my favorite of the three. Anyway, so when they announced that they were doing this movie, it became very clear very quickly that, like, whatever it was going to be in scare quotes, whether or not they put the scare quotes in the title.
Right.
I think
the scare quotes were, I mean, they're textual, but also we all knew what's coming. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think, as I said today on
this
the
is not
internet,
a heated rivalry style.
No, heated rivalry did not need
fidelity
square
to
quotes.
the text. No, right.
That
exactly.
is actually what it was. Yeah. So I said on the internet today, I have seen Wuthering Heights, and I can confirm it is not Wuthering Heights. I will tell you that if you take a gummy and you think of it less as like an adaptation of Wuthering Heights and more as like the color factory, that like color museum that is in a lot of cities,
sure.
But like make it historical, you're going to have a great time. Also, Jacob Elordi is about 83 feet tall, which is, really all I need. It's like a hot Ichabod Crane.
I don't know if anyone else is having this problem, but now that, AI is making spell check really bad or like autocorrect, my phone keeps trying to correct it to Wuthering Heights, which is, I think, also a very different kind of movie.
Yes. I mean, there is some, but I will say I've seen some great puns. The other day I saw somebody on Threads say, I want to throw myself off a Wuthering Height.
Perfect. A+.
But I will tell you, I actually had a great time. And I think the reason that you can have I think the way to have a great time is to have two moments here. One is Heathcliff should not be played by Jacob Elordi, a very tall young white man. He just shouldn't be. And so I think we have to set that aside and acknowledge that, like, Hollywood is being real weird with this colorblind, like, casting I don't even know. Is this colorblind casting? No, it's just putting a white man in a heroic position. So set that aside. And then I think you really
the original colorblind casting, if you think about it.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And then we will put in show notes, though. I read this great piece, I can't remember where, and it was like a collection of academics. It was like Vulture maybe, or The Cut, or somewhere, went and interviewed a bunch of academics who were like, let us be very clear, like, this is, and they talk about like who Heathcliff is, like how he should be represented. Anyway, and then number two is you do have to put the bar on the floor. Like, you just have to be like, I don't know that whether this is going to be, come in with no expectations at all. And then I think you'll have a great time. There's a secondary character. The Isabella character is, I mean, I will tell you, I cackled in like, not in a, not in a, like, in a, so in the context of this, Kathy and Heathcliff are our main characters, Jen. I'm just going to give you a quick overview.
I have read this one.
Children. You read it?
I read it in high school. I remember reading it at my high school job. Like, I was working at the gas station and people come in and I'd literally be like, excuse me, it's Heathcliff and Kathy. What do you need gas or something? Okay, fine.
Okay, well, great. So, you know, so Isabella is, you know, is the way that she is played in this movie is so unhinged that, like, it's really tremendous. And so I just, you know, whatever. You're going to like it. You're not going to like it. But I would say do not go into, unless you're the kind of person who's like, I really like going to see things and then sounding like super pedantic when I come out and like explaining all the ways that it's not the original text.
Sure.
You're going to have a great time with this too. But like mostly just remember the scare quotes and
and just move along from there.
Have a nice time. And then in maybe a month or so, I'll do some spoilering. I'll say some things that are, I don't want to say yet because people maybe haven't seen them. But I will say, just remember, everybody, before you go, that textually, it is actually in the text that Heathcliff enjoys a meal.
Yes. And not just off of the side of the wall. A real meal.
No, and I will say, when he licked the wall, there's some hot kissing, you guys. Like, I'm into it.
That, honestly, of all the things Sarah has said about this movie,
like,
that's
pretty,
the one.
Like, he's pretty feral, and it's pretty hot. And when he licks the wall, I was not clear in the preview what the context was. But listen, I'm for it.
Nice. Okay. All right. I'm excited.
I mean, I like a man with hands the size of hams. So I'm a simple man. I'm a simple woman, Jen. I mean, a basic bitch. So here we go.
Me and Emerald Fennell. Okay. So,
but anyway, the dresses were amazing.
Yeah, that's the part I want. Yeah.
The clothes are amazing. And Margot Robbie is...
Yeah, sure. Beautiful woman.
Top 5 beautiful person.
You know, a really cool book I have actually is when she was on the tour for Barbie. They did all of these,
Barbie dresses.
They did all the Barbie dresses and she wore them, right? And they actually did a coffee table book of her wearing, and like she looks like a Barbie. Like, it's a really cool book. This week's episode of Fated Mates is brought to you by Amy Spalding, author of In Her Spotlight.
Hollywood actor Tess Gardner is extraordinarily famous, but she is not the kind of famous she always dreamed of being. She is Princess Platinum in the Vindicator series, a very pretty face with CGI superpowers that literally sparkle. But she has always been an actress and wanted to prove her chops as an actor. And that means the theater. It means she has got to take a part on the stage. So she lands a part working with a very acclaimed stage director, and like, this is it. This is how she's going to prove to everybody that she is a serious person. Unfortunately, a scandal forces him out, and he is replaced by none other than hip buzzy director Rebecca Frisch, the same Rebecca Frisch whose heart a firmly closeted Tess broke a decade ago during Summer Stock. So Tess is wrestling with a lot of guilt and a lot of attraction to Rebecca, also struggling to rein in her sort of superstar status on stage and behind the scenes, and just trying to get some respect back there. But unexpectedly, things reignite with Rebecca. Unexpectedly to Tess. We know they're going to reignite. And she bristles even more against the kind of walls and structure of her A-list life. The industry has made it really clear that a girl next door superhero cannot also be gay. Coming out is not realistic for Tess. And Rebecca is heading back to New York if they can't make it work. So the big question is, will Tess take a chance on happiness and take the risk in living her true life out in the world. This is real, like, Scott and Kip from Heated Rivalry coded, and I'm here for it.
So if you would like to check out this sapphic second chance romance with a lot of fun Hollywood behind the scenes as part of the plot, then check out In Her Spotlight. If your podcasting app supports it, you can click on the chapter title right now to be taken to buy the book. Thanks to Amy Spalding for sponsoring this week's episode. You know, I guess we don't talk about this enough, but I feel like one of the biggest appeals to me of historical romance when I was young and still is like the idea of a big poofy dress.
Yes. Look at the covers. Well, this
Yes.
is why we're also upset about what's going on with covers now. Because it's like you've taken away the thing that was the most magical.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which is like every one of these books is a Cinderella book. Like in the sense of they get to put on the dress and go to the ball, and like we get to live that vicariously through them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say somebody today on Threads, and I'm sure they don't listen to Fated Mates because our listeners would never, said nobody is ready to have a conversation about how if you actually had a gothic love story, it would be terrible. And I was like, I think we don't have to have that conversation.
We all know. That's fiction. That's like being like, nobody's ever said it would be terrible to live in a Stephen King novel before. What do you mean? Does it have to be said?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Text is not text anymore? I don't know. Oh, well, that's, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and I think like even, you know what? And I think even like watching Bridgerton, I'm sure watching The Gilded Age.
The clothes.
Right? The clothes are are so fabulous. And
but listen,
that's what's really fun.
Not to bring it back to Heated Rivalry, but let's bring it back to Heated Rivalry if we can.
I'm not going to be sad. I don't think anybody is.
So here's the thing. Like, I also think like I think romance talks about clothes in a way. I mean, listen, romance is so lush. And part of the work of like world building a romance novel is like this kind of like when we think about, you know, in I'm sure I've talked about this before. I talk about it a lot when I talk about my like when I give my how to write a romance class.
Yeah.
I talk about Desmond Morris's like 12 steps to intimacy.
Yes.
And it starts with like eye to body, eye to eye. Like there's sort of how many different ways we interact with each other. So this kind of idea of like our bodies as part of the world building in a romance novel. And so, you know, I'll never forget, like often in a first draft, like if I'll get into a scene and I'll be writing the dialogue and I'll just be like writing the dialogue. And then I'll turn it into my editor and she'll return the manuscript. And one of the edits that is a very common edit for my first drafts is, what are they wearing? Right? Like, what do they look like? What is this space? How are they existing in space?
Yes.
And I will say, like, this is true of contemporary. We see it in contemporary. People do talk about what characters are wearing in contemporary. But historical is really about like all the ways the clothes live in the body. And so like it's part of what we do as a genre.
Yeah. Like there's this great scene in Heated Rivalry, right, where essentially Shane has gone, like, kind of looks sharp. You know, he wants to get his man back. This is like episode 5, and he shows up at the bar, and Ilya looks like essentially like Tom Selleck, which is hilarious. And he, like, essentially Shane confesses that he hired a stylist. You know, and he sort of says, like, a lot of the guys in the league, like, just look really good. And I was always wearing, like, sporty stuff, you know? And it really is, like, there's, like, a real sense at that moment of, like an explicit sense as a romance reader of understanding that what Shane really is saying is, I'm a man now, and I'm coming for my man.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we know what that means. Like, the glow up means something in a romance. It means something in Pretty Woman. It means something, right? And
Pretty Woman is a perfect example, too.
Right? And so I think, like, the whole clothes piece of it is really fun and it does a lot of character work, but it also is like there's a lot of stuff that's like super hilariously romance coded. And I think that's like the romance wardrobe stuff today that we are also going to be talking about.
Yes.
Right.
So let's start. I've talked about a lot. You begin.
Okay. So are we going to start? We're going to start with historical stuff.
I mean, sure.
Okay. I would like to talk about one of my favorite historical, I don't know, truths about wardrobe, which is having the right neckline can drive men wild. Okay? And part of the reason that this is really so funny to me is because, like, okay, so I think the other thing that you have to understand is, like, when I picture these scenes in my head, I'm picturing, like, a lingerie model style necklines. And then I look at like actual historical photographs of like old timey clothes or like museum exhibits. And I'm like, wait, that's the neckline that drove men wild?
Well,
right?
Think about it. Like ankles would send men into the Thames. Like it just.
So I really, but I also, the thing, and part of the reason I wanted to start here is I really like the idea though that one of the things I think is a truism about romance wardrobe largely is the sexiest things are when you're in public, but you're revealing something private. Right. And so like the thing about like the neckline driving men wild is that it's really this sense like, especially, right, like obviously we're talking about like, you know, like an MF romance here is right, like all of a sudden this private attraction between them might be made public because of the way he's going to respond, right, to her wearing this gown, or even worse, other men seeing her wear the gown.
Like
right?
James Mallory.
Oh, yeah.
No, not James. Is it James? No, it's Devil's Bride.
It's all of them, but yes. Oh, yeah. It's all of them, Sarah. But
when she comes into the ball and her neckline is too low and he races to cover her up with his jacket. Oh, so sexy.
Right? I mean, but I just really
it's Devil's
love
Bride that I'm thinking of.
Like the whole idea of just like, I don't know, right? Like that there's something just like so alluring about seeing them for the first time this way, right?
And it's not just that sort of neck, like other things go hand in hand with that, right? Like the glove.
Yes.
Like gloves are, when the glove comes off in romance novels, I mean, obviously there's one that we think of all the time, right?
Yeah.
But so when, you know, Dane undoes Jessica's glove, he might as well be stripping her naked. Like, I mean, and it's so sexy. And I think like we, you know, often in a historical, you'll get to a moment where neither of them are wearing gloves and they touch for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they can feel each other. Like that's hand to hand, right?
Right.
It's the Desmond Morris 12 steps hand to hand, which like in now times.
Yeah. Right.
Like we touch like, okay, like who cares? It's your hand. But then, I mean, that was shattering.
Right. Yeah. So anything like that, right? Where it's like, you know, the neckline, removing the gloves, like all like, right. Like sort of that alluring sense of like seeing someone in like, you know, in a way that is almost like forbidden. And yet you're in public because it's a gown and a glove, you know? And I think that's the part that like really, and the thing about like Dane, especially with like the glove, is he thinks he's going to get her. And the act of taking off her glove undoes him far more powerfully than her, right? Like, and she's like, oh, he's really backed himself into a corner here. Whatever shall happen. And it is great.
Okay, so let's talk about corsetry because I feel like this is a key one. So invariably so often I think people who don't read a lot of historicals get the corset chemise thing wrong. So like let's talk about this. So when you dress, so corsetry in the 19th century and prior to is not a pleasant experience, right? Like it's not a comfortable structure. It's often made with whalebone. It's not easy to sit in it. In the Regency, they actually didn't wear corsets as often as we see them in romance, but they did wear them before and after. And it goes, and a chemise is basically an undergarment. It's like a slip.
Yeah.
And it goes on first. So you're naked and then chemise goes on. And I mean, this really predates like the introduction of like the pantalone, which is like an underpant.
Yeah.
Not sexy, the pantaloon at all. But the interior, so a chemise just sort of floats over you, and then it has a kind of like wide neckline that can be like arranged, tightened, like ribboned, and fitted beneath your dress. And then the corset goes on over the chemise, and the chemise is there to protect your skin from
this thing,
the boning and the lacing. Oh, there is actually a really great moment in Wuthering Heights where Emerald Fennell loves these clothes. I mean, like it's clear. And this is also in one of the previews or something where like Margot Robbie's being corseted and she keeps saying tighter, and like you can see the skin like folding her, like skin folding in on itself because she's so tightly and so like that sort of boning piece is real, and like these ladies could not breathe.
Yeah.
First of all, it was fully rearranging your interior.
That's crazy. That part's not so fun.
No. And they couldn't breathe. And so, of course, they fucking swooned all the time.
Yes,
I mean, it's pretty great because how many times have we read a romance where, like, she quite literally swoons?
Yes.
Like, I mean, smelling salts. It took me years before I even, like, thought to look up what a smelling salt was, because I was like, this is just a thing. Like, this is a thing that exists. Everyone has them all the time. So, yeah, so smelling salts are actually like ammonia. They have a very strong ammonia smell. So you would hold them under somebody's nose and it was such a foul smell that it would like it opens your nasal passages and it like makes you breathe, and then you wake up.
Right.
But what's interesting is that in romance, nobody is passing out. I mean, some people probably are. Surely now someone has written the book where like they passed out because their corset was too tight. But that's not why people are passing out. Their corsets are on. These are professional women who know how to wear a corset.
Yeah.
When they swoon because Handsome Rake has said something.
Sure.
Handsome and Reiki. And also, I mean, listen, there is something to, I don't know why. Why am I so attracted to the corset as like a conceptual sex idea, right? Like there is also a moment in Wuthering Heights where he grabs her by the laces of her corset and he lifts her off the ground.
Well, that's sexy. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I'm like,
it's like, is it like a proto BDSM type thing?
Yeah. I mean,
right?
Maybe it's that, but also it's like, this is the bodice ripping piece where it's like the strength I mean, listen.
Yeah.
Isabel Carr, who unfortunately we have lost to cancer, fuck cancer. Isabel was an expert in Regency clothing,
right?
And she used to give a really magnificent talk every year at RWA where she had all the clothes, and so she would get a volunteer and she would dress the volunteer and then show you every layer.
That's really fun.
I mean, it was really with petticoats, with like crinoline, with, you know, the cages of those skirts, which, you know, people would women would be taking walks along the Thames and they would literally, if a stiff wind blew, you could be blown into the river and you would die. Because
apparently
the skirts would pull you down.
Well, someone the other day apparently got blown into Lake Michigan with their baby carriage, and then someone else like literally like jumped in to save them. So that's
amazing.
Real.
Still happens.
It is the windy fucking city, y'all.
It is. Oh, and then there's, I mean, in Again the Magic, Alina is is the reason why she has all the scars on her legs is because
that's
her
right.
skirt caught fire in the fire grate. I mean, like,
right. Yeah.
these are not, I'm sort of all over the place here, but I'm just, giving you some interesting
some
facts.
background.
But Isabel Carr used to say, like, there's just no way a bodice could ever be ripped. Because
right.
that's fucking whalebone. Like,
amazing. Yeah, right. That's on my list also for more contemporary clothing.
But the rip, I mean, like, listen.
Yeah.
These heroes with fists the size of hams, they can rip the shit out of a whalebone corset and then get it done to her. Like, they don't even, like, they're not even out of breath until they see it. And then they're out of breath because they're like, whoa.
Tits.
Holy shit, look at this. Invariably in romance, though, you'll notice now that I've told you this, often they rip the corset and the chemise is gone too. It's like magic. Like, if the corset is ripped, it takes the chemise with it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, makes sense. This week's episode of Fated Mates is brought to you by Blue Box Press, publishers of Larissa Ione's Demonica Legacy series.
This one's for all the paranormal lovers out there, and we know there are a lot of you. Jen, humans go to hospitals, animals go to veterinarians, but where do injured, ill, and beheaded demons go?
To your bed, Sarah.
Yes, but we want them to have head.
Sure. I was like, you just walked right into that one. Add over, everybody.
A head. It isn't as though every supernatural being possesses the ability to reattach their own head, by the way. So fear not, werewolves and demons and vampires. Help has arrived in the handsome form of 3 brothers, each an incubus demon by birth. Everyone knows I love an incubus. These are human in appearance, but they have pulled together to make the most of their healing skills that are common to the incubus species. And they've founded Underworld General Hospital. And Jen, you're going to like the tagline for this hospital. This is where sexy demons are doctors, HMOs are non-existent, and the blood bank sometimes doubles as the cafeteria.
If you would like to check out this series, the one that they're releasing or re-releasing this week is Cypher. So that one sounds really fun. He's an unfallen angel. Hello. And if your podcasting app supports it, you can click on the chapter title right now to be taken to buy the book. Thanks to Blue Box Press and Larissa Ione for sponsoring this week's episode. Sarah, what the fuck is a reticule? This was like one of my favorite romance words when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
I believe I actually looked it up. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like a purse?
Like a little silk,
is this a purse?
Silk sack.
Yes.
That hangs on your wrist.
That just all sounds really dirty.
It's just there so that a cut purse can come and cut your purse. And then a rake can come and punch him in the face.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I was like that. Is that how you say it? Reticule?
A reticule? I think so. Correct us if we're wrong. I don't know that I've ever heard it
said out loud. Well, I feel
mean,
like
it's not like my British mother was like, go get your reticule.
Listen, call her up right now and ask her.
Oh, wait, Jen, can we talk about bonnets?
Oh, yeah. Well, all I know about bonnets
lace
is
caps.
That lace caps, and you hate it, and you definitely have to take it off because that's awful.
Yeah. I mean, you only spinsters wear lace caps.
Is that actually true? Or is that just romance wardrobe?
That's romance rules. I don't know. No, but it feels like only spinsters wear lace caps.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how you know it's a spinster. She's ripe for picking off.
Yeah. And like that shit. I mean, nobody's looking at you while you're wearing a lace cap.
No.
And then when you take it off, though, everyone looks.
I think it's
lace cap is an invisibility cloak.
It's like a librarian's glasses.
Yeah.
I would say that it is fascinating to me because I think a lace cap in like romance, right, has a very specific meaning. I don't know if Louisa's ever told you this. She wrote a book where like she kept referring to like a beaver hat. And I was like, is this in Wisconsin? Like, explain to me the beaver hat. And then apparently
like
that top hat.
Yeah.
I was like, well, why didn't you just say top hat? Like beaver.
It's not a top hat.
Also,
top hat isn't sexy.
That's Minnesota. No, but neither is beaver hat.
I guess not.
I guess unless you're down there in it. It's a beaver.
Just you have to wear the hat to get down there.
You're wearing that because you're down there, Sarah.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyway.
For decorum. A reticule. Wait, I've got, what else do I have? Oh, I want to talk about stockings. We have to talk about stockings.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Because they always come with ribbons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which they do, everybody. Like, there's no elastic.
Right,
1820.
exactly. I mean, once I put that together, I was like, oh, yeah, right.
Right? So there are stockings, and they do come with ribbons, and you do tie them but again, like, in history, I feel like you would have to tie them real tight.
Yes.
To keep them from falling down.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the ribbons are always colored. Like, and then, and there's always a sort of moment in the book, if she doesn't have like beautiful stockings that have beautiful colors, there's a moment like Mick Tremor style where he like makes sure she has.
Well, this is like marrying Winterbourne, right?
Yep.
She comes home after getting banged by Winterbourne in his house, and she's like, oh, they're going to figure it out because I've got these fresh stockings on, right? And I was like, that also, Helen, and the scarlet A on your chest.
I mean, the stocking is perfect. The stocking is like, I mean, it's so sinful. Yeah. It feels like the second he touches that silk stocking on her leg, oh my God, it's going to be great. He's going to roll that down, and it's going to be great. Yeah.
And it's also it's going to drive him wild, by the way.
Yeah. And I do think, so sometimes as I'm sort of talking about this, I'm thinking, you know, obviously, like, I just finished a book, and I came off of the, you know, while I was writing the kind of like big sex scene, I was thinking about like how in all of my books, like the sex scenes they span multiple chapters. And I know that I write a long sex scene. Thank you, Stephanie Lawrence, for teaching me. But but I do think that there is something to the idea that maybe historicals spend more time undressing.
Okay.
I don't know. This is now me like, okay. I don't know. I've done no research. I have no data. But it feels
like that could be true. Yeah.
Like the clothes in contemporaries come off easier because they do come off easier. Like, unzip that shit, get rid of it. She wasn't wearing anything underneath, you know,
right.
And so, whereas like that would never be the case in a historical. So it's interesting. And
it
so
is.
You can like, and also because like he's never seen the real shape of her legs or like, you know, they've never, you know, not every. There's so little skin all the time that like every new thing that comes off is like a moment for his internal monologue to just be like screaming.
And this is no matter how much of a rake you are, that's just going to drive you wild. And that's what I like about it.
I don't care how many ankles you've seen. That one set of ankles.
Yeah. Agree.
It's going to do the job. All right. Can we just talk about medievals for a moment and then we can come back to men?
Yes, and then we can come back to men. Yeah.
Can we talk about the bliaut?
Oh yeah, what the
bliaut?
I definitely looked that up too. I definitely looked that up for sure.
Guys, I'm going to look it up right now and see if I can find a pronunciation. It's the first thing. If you Google it, it says. All right, let's see. It's bliaut. That's French.
Oh,
bliaut. Okay. That makes sense, of course.
Sure.
A 12th century medieval garment. Let me say it again. A 12th century medieval garment. And so, okay, this is from the medievals. It is the only word Devereaux ever used to describe anything clothing-wise.
True.
And the structure of this is it is very fitted in the top, across the breasts, down the waist. And it has like lacing, not like a ribbon that wraps kind of around you, a ribbon that wraps around you. And then a like slim, but like twirly skirt. Like you could twirl in it, but it's, you know, it's not as like big as like a historical romance cover skirt. And then those gigantic
like bell sleeves. Yes.
Tight down the arm. And now these, and I remember this from, must have been McNaught. don't think she'd ever over-explained it. So it probably was McNaught, right? They were sewn in, the ladies were sewn into these.
I remember reading about that and being like, excuse me, what? But I think that still happens at like the Oscars now, if you're real fancy.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to the Oscars.
Yeah.
But if you're just like going to find a wolf in the woods. Like, I got to go make friends with a wolf. Somebody sew me into my dress.
No, true. It's true.
So they were, because the sleeves were so tight that they would sew down the sleeve and then the bell would like hang to the floor. And so that is a bliaut. And when I was a kid, I was like, I just want to wear those. I want to wear one of those. And now that I'm a grown up and I write these books, like I am always like, how can I sneak a bliaut?
Listen, next Sarah McLean book is going to have a masquerade, and
somebody's going to come as Eleanor of Aquitaine.
Yes, there you go.
Good idea.
Great.
Sold. I'm writing it down.
Listen, I don't think we're going to spend a whole lot of time on
kirtle,
masquerades.
Also a kirtle. What's a kirtle? Kirtle?
Oh, I don't know. A lady kilt?
Oh, we didn't even talk about kilts yet. We'll get there. It's a bust supporting Oh, that's the thing that everybody can't see, but I'm literally showing Jen with my hands on my boobs. It's the one where it like sews up the middle.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure.
Like a medieval farm.
Like you're a tennis shoe.
Yeah, like your tennis shoe.
I was like, let me do the medieval. Your tennis shoe.
Kirtle.
Sure.
And I did reference one of those in my short story, A Duke Worth Falling For, because I think I was with Sophie Jordan and she was like, you should put a girdle in it. And I was like, this is like 2022. And she was like, figure out a way.
And you're like, all right, challenge accepted.
All right, challenge accepted. So yeah.
That's really funny.
And those are laced up the front, but actually sewed. The seams are like, it looks also like you're sewed into them. This is terrible. You know what? Buttons on apps. People are like, the flushable toilet is the greatest invention. The iPhone, get out of here. The button. How about that? The zipper.
Elastic. We can go back right to elastic.
Basically, the zipper had to have made the same kind of strides toward fighting the patriarchy as like suffrage.
That's when they started making pockets real shallow.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we've given them too much.
These ladies have too much time now that they can just like put their clothes on.
You know, I think the other thing that I was thinking about in terms of like, okay, medieval, we'll just say very quickly, no one has coats or anything, and they're all up in Scotland because that's the only place medieval people lived. And
there was no Middle Ages anywhere else.
No, nowhere else. They all had just furs, and I'm always like,
yeah, they do.
I just feels like, you know what? Thank God, romance wardrobe does not include romance bath because otherwise we'd really be sunk. Okay, can we go back to other historical men's clothing things?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Sarah, this is me being kind of silly, but one of my favorite romance things is if you're talking about a type of clothing for a man called smalls. And the reason it's especially funny, and I'm sure that's the real name of this item, which like to me is like, I always think of it as like, I don't know if this is true. I'm just going to describe what I think it is. It's like a jock strap, but soft. Right? Like you just put everything like you just put everything in that little like thing. Okay. But the thing that's really funny about it being called smalls is, of course, every romance guy has the biggest cock you've ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
And so sometimes like smalls, what? Where's mediums and large?
So
sorry, everybody. Someone out there is really laughing with me.
Oh,
I don't
somebody
know
out there is like, no, somebody out there is having like an
you
emotional,
guys drive safe.
An emotional stroke because they're like, no, that's not what smalls are.
That's not what smalls are. Okay. I don't want to know. I don't want to. Oh no, I do. But I mean, up until this moment, when I thought, Jennifer, you should look up and see what smalls are, and then I think, no, this is just way funnier in my head if I imagine it like a little speedo.
amazing.
Okay, sorry. What are smalls?
Okay.
Tell me, Sarah.
So smalls, and I'm just confirming this because I wanted to make sure that I knew, and I did. So
Of course you did.
smalls are, well, I mean, I don't actually, it is a word I do not use.
You don't.
How about that?
You don't like smalls or balls?
I don't. Let me tell you something. So here's something interesting about.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't like smalls or balls.
That was funny, Sarah.
You are. Yes, it's true. Do I have to tell that story again?
No.
Okay, good.
Someone else can tell it. Or
I
you can
like
email
balls
me
fine,
and I'll
everybody.
tell you.
Everybody's balls are just safe with me. It's fine. But I don't write smalls, and the reason I don't write balls. But I don't write smalls because it's weird. Like, it's just like a weird word. I agree with you.
Sure.
So essentially, it's just like undergarments in general. Like, it's a broader sense. So it's like his linen shirt would be part of it, and then whatever he was wearing underneath his breeches, as they say, which is important because you said Bath, Regency Bath.
Sure.
Undergarments keep outer garments from being dirty and smelly. I mean, not for long periods of time, but like at least you could get a few wears out of a pair of trousers.
Right.
If you're wearing something underneath. If you're not, if you're just like going commando, like a contemporary cowboy under there, then like you got to change those jeans every day because you're just
gross,
raw dogging it in there.
Oh, funny.
So, but it's interesting because a word that I use a lot and that I really like is falls.
Okay.
The fall of his trousers, or the falls of his trousers, which is the placket.
The placket, right?
Buttons.
Yeah.
Because again, zippers, no zippers, right? So when you think about like, I'm gonna really reveal myself as like, because I often think when people meet me and they don't know what I write, they are often surprised that I write historicals because like I don't really come off as being like, a lady who, is, I don't know, historically.
You don't come off as Emerald Fennell?
Yeah, I'm no Emerald Fennell, everybody. So but I think that whole thing is real sexy. That sort of like flap that goes up over the front of a trouser a trouser front, and it has like the 2 rows of buttons up along the side, like a sailor pant, but like less dramatic. Like I think that's a sexy look for. I'm sad that men, that disappeared. And so I really like that, and I like to have a heroine like. I like it. I often in my books, you'll notice someone undoes those buttons, whether it's him or her. Like I actually like that sort of pause,
that moment. Yeah,
it's happening. This week's episode of Fated Mates is sponsored by Lumi Gummies. Consistent, mellow, and super delicious, Lumi Gummies are specifically designed to make you feel good, not stoned. Whether you're looking for an end-of-day distressor, a midday mood boost, or help getting the best sleep ever, Lumi Gummies has a strain that's right for you. Also useful for Wuthering Heights in scare quotes.
It's my turn, Sarah. And what I'm here to talk about is how much I love an indica gummy, because these offer you that like grounded and sleepy feeling, which is like a big deal for an insomniac like me. And so I seem to like wake up every night in the middle of the night, and sometimes I want to do the thing I shouldn't do, which is like, I don't know, scroll on the internet or whatever. And instead I'll like maybe have a little snack. Like I try to eat it before the gummy, and then I take a gummy and I get back in bed, and then I wake up in the morning and I have slept. And so I really think that like if this is something where you struggle with sleeping, and like for me, sometimes I can fall asleep, but I wake up, it's not something I take every night, but like if I wake up in the middle of the night and I have trouble going back to sleep, like it's just exactly what I need.
Well, I mean, yeah. We've been doing our ads for Lumi Gummies for a long time. We've all used them here, and we're big fans. So, Lumi Gummies are available nationwide right now. You can go to lumigummies.com. That's LUMI gummies.com, and use the code FATEDMATES for 30% off your order. Again, that's lumigummies.com, code FATEDMATES. lumigummies.com, code Fated Mates. And if your podcasting app supports it, you can click on the chapter title right now to be taken for your first order. Thanks to Lumi Gummies for sponsoring this week's episode. I think like historical men's clothing can be deeply unsexy. Like,
yeah.
My heroes definitely have never put on stockings, even though they probably did put on stockings. And
breeches.
I get them. I was never happier as when I moved into like the late 1830s and further, because then I could get them they could wear trousers.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that sort of skin tight look. Unless they're on a horse, but that's for Regency horse. And then there is a problem, which is, and anybody who's seen the Pride and Prejudice with Colin Firth knows this, that like undershirt that falls like basically to the knee, like
right, like
Scrooge,
they're like nightgown,
like an Ebenezer Scrooge nightgown situation. I don't like any of that, but also no buttons on those shirts because those are laced up.
Yes. Well, listen, in all romance,
some of them have buttons, but it's rare.
But listen, all of them are going to walk around and want to make out with you when their shirt is still tucked in, but also like down around their arms or waist.
Shoulders.
Yes. And that is my favorite thing. Back before Pinterest became like completely overwhelmed with AI slop, I actually had a like Pinterest that was just called like tucked and unbuttoned, because I was like, wait, what is happening? Like if my shirt is still tucked in, it is buttoned. Right? Like you can't, what is happening?
Yeah.
But this is, if you have never paid attention to this before, I promise you'll be delated by just how almost every single romance, like historical romance, it's like, right, that has a clinch. It's like it's still tucked in, but it's completely unbuttoned and like hanging off of them, and it's fucking great.
Yes. I would say if you are interested in men's clothing and if you think like the sort of the real like precision and drama of the historical men's clothing is your kink, you should absolutely 100% read Eloisa James's Desperate Duchesses series, which features the Duke of Villiers, who is his book is a Duke of her own. It's book 6 in the series. And Villiers is the most like clothes horsey, vain, aristocratic, like egomaniacal, self-absorbed Duke you can possibly imagine. And he is just brought down by Lisette, the heroine of that book. But Eloisa, that whole series like is so remarkable because she did like so much. It's set in the 1700s, and so it's Georgian, and it's set like there are these like big wigs. Like there's a whole storyline in one of them that there's like rats living in somebody's wigs. Like one of the things that Eloisa does really well is like the historicalness of the clothing, of the hair, of the makeup, all of it. And Villiers wears like, he's heeled red boots, and like all his clothes are so like precisely put together. And the descriptions are lush and beautiful, and it feels like you're watching, scare quotes, Wuthering Heights. So
exactly.
Can we talk about coats?
Oh wait, are we still on historical?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Let's talk about great coats.
Oh yeah. Great rooms, great coats, but smalls.
Great coats over smalls. All right, so it goes smalls, and then it goes waistcoat, which is a vest.
Is that how you say that? Oh, also, apparently everybody, it's valet, not valet. Who knew?
Yeah, I don't say it. I mean, I know it, but I always say valet.
Yeah.
Waistcoat over smalls, and then over that, and then trousers.
Sure.
Or don't say pants in England. That means underpants. And or breeches or trousers. And then over that, a top coat, which often doesn't button.
Sure.
So you need a useless top coat. and then but handsome with
Sure, yeah. That's a good look.
Now we're in like Anthony Bridgerton area.
Yeah, that's hot. Mm-hmm.
And then a great coat, which is what you wear when you need to get shit done in the East End. Like, this lady has gotten into a carriage and gone to a men's club or a boxing den or somewhere, and I have got to go and get her. And so you are you're beaver hatting and great coating, and often you have a cane, and you're off onto the cobblestones of the worst parts of London to justifiably punch people in the face and also save the day. And also probably Roger that lady up against the wall.
Sure. I mean, that does seem nice. Maybe like turn around so she's in it and give her a little cushion.
Like she might get cold. You have to take it off and like cloak her in it. You might be in a carriage for a long way and your warming brick has become cold and you have to cover her in your greatcoat. It's a handy tool.
Okay, this reminds me, what the fuck is a pelisse? P-E-L-I-S-S-E.
That's a like little coat. It's
okay, like a little coat. Okay. That's why you need somebody with a great coat.
Well, yes.
You just got a little coat junior, a coatlet.
Yes, exactly. It's like it's long and it has, it's like it buttons, it's sort of up to here. It's up to your neck, to your chin, and it buttons like down the front.
Okay.
And it seems sort of fussy and useless.
Right.
I mean, I have to tell you, I really feel, well, first of all, I'm glad that everybody had petticoats, because heavy as they are, if you fall into a river, like, God bless you, you're definitely dying.
Oh yeah, but
at least they kept you warm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but you need a handsome man with a heavy greatcoat to like
obviously
keep you warm.
Obviously.
And then the kilt, obviously.
Sure.
Which, now listen, if you talk to a real Scot, they get very fussy about romance kilt. Because
we're now in a completely different romance kilt. I mean, listen, I was pretty sure all of this was garbage, but I'm pretty sure that romance kilt was super garbagey. I mean, I just had a feeling.
Well,
it must be.
First of all, kilts were illegal in Scotland for like hundreds of years, because those Scots, who knows what they were up to up there behind Hadrian's Wall. And I mean, like, listen, they hated the British. Many of them continue to. And so, and kilts were a sign of their, clan affiliation, and the fact that they were, and a sort of note that they were more loyal to Scotland than they were to their king. Right?
I used to sometimes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was going to say about kilts, about plaids, the Julie
plaid.
Garwood
it's also the plaid.
I always thought, like, I guess no one's ever like. This is so terrible. I guess I really remember once thinking, like, I guess no one's ever colorblind in Scotland, because, like, what if you look at a plaid and you get like the plaid wrong?
No one is.
No one's colorblind in Scotland. Everyone's plaid is completely distinguishable from all the other plaids of all the other. That's
exactly.
Just how it works.
Even though I was like,
my
how
family
many
name
is
color
McLean.
dye are there? Right?
Yeah, my mother is a McLean, and I have the three plaids: the formal plaid, the hunting plaid, and then the whatever the third one is. And
the laying it down in the woods plaid.
Yeah, the one where
Sarah.
you fuck in the woods on. Which one is best for fucking in the woods?
They had to make their own third one. They realized.
Actually, I think there might. I have two, and then I have a third that I'm actually not sure is McLean plaid. But I honestly, the only reason why I can tell them apart is because the formal plaid is red and the hunting plaid is green. But like when put against other red plaids and green plaids, and like
I remember being like, well, also like how many different dyes do they have? It's
also
not like
most hunting plaids are green because hunting,
because you're in Scotland, right? It's like camo.
It's camo. It's early camo.
Come on, we understood. Yeah, that's amazing.
So anyway, Scotland is the kilt. I mean, the kilt. Oh God, the one. Oh my God, Julie Garwood, you did it so well. In The Bride, when she like puts on his kilt.
Oh yeah.
And she walks. Another example of it, like this is basically the Scottish version of the neckline is too low, right?
Yes, right.
She walks into the great room of the keep, and he sees her in his kilt, and he's just
Yeah. Game over.
gone for her.
Game over. Yeah.
And I think that the joy of that is that I think secretly in our like hearts of hearts, I think we all, men and women, when we dress up, there's that sort of like, I hope I look great.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like,
of course.
I want to stop hearts. This week's episode of Fated Mates is sponsored by Romantasy Letters, breathtaking romantic fantasy by mail.
So this is a really fun, everybody. This is a subscription storytelling experience delivered directly to your mailbox. Everybody loves getting mail. None of us get enough of it. That's really fun. And here is the perfect service for us. So over the course of the subscription, you'll receive beautifully crafted illustrated letters and immersive keepsakes that like really like sink you into a romantasy story and world full of intrigue, desire, fae, magic, and war. In this case, you can get started with the first story that you would be like subscribing to right now is called A Treaty of Hearts, which is sort of an enemies to lovers where these two people have to strike a deal in order to like save their people. But of course, this is going to shatter their hearts forever.
Well, if you love the idea of a sort of breathtaking romantasy told to you via letters and journal entries and stickers and codices and sigils, I think Romantasy Letters is going to be for you. You get 24 letters over the course of the year. And right now, if you head over to romantasyletters.com and you can use the code FATED for 20% off your annual subscription. You get 24 letters, again, over the course of a year, each one with keepsakes and a unique, no AI ever included storyline. Again, head to romantasyletters.com and use the code FATED for 20% off your year subscription. If your podcasting app supports it, you can click on the chapter title right now and be taken to buy the book. Thanks again to romantasyletters.com for sponsoring this week's episode.
I have one more like historical thing before we could talk about contemporary. But do you have more historical things?
I could do another one. I have one more. It's about shoes.
Oh, okay. Mine is very simple, which is every modiste is basically a superhero. That's an archetype. That's it.
Oh, yeah, that's an excellent point. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Dressmakers are the most powerful people in.
Yeah,
they are.
There's Iron Man, and then back then it was the modiste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. And they always, you walk in and they're immediately like, it's this color and this style. And I can tell, I know exactly what, and you'll also have the dress tomorrow because I'm going to have my like, my mice build it overnight.
Yeah, I do like that. I like that. Although you also know a man is like a real rake if he has his own personal, like as a preference for a modiste.
Yeah. And he's always got an account there too.
Oh, yeah. Bad news.
Listen, scoundrel.
100%.
Let's talk about Hessian boots.
Oh, sure.
Lisa Kleypas loves a Hessian boot. I mean, so do I.
So does Lord Byron. It's fine.
So, I mean, listen, we like a man who can wear a big, heavy leather boot. And also, those come off just mysteriously.
Yeah, that's true.
Listen,
no one ever has to,
you guys,
do
you know how fucking hard it is to get shoes off in the Regency? And, like, every time I'm like, and also what I would say is, like, now in 2026, here's the thing. I'm going to say this and it's going to ruin a lot of people's lives, but whatever. We are a no shoes household. I think there are a lot of no shoes households in the world now because like we just are smart now. We know like if you're walking around out there in London in 1840 without really great sewage situations, like what you're trekking through your house is not great. And I don't think I ever really cared about it at all. But in the last like couple of books, I've been like, gosh, I wish I could make these people like take off their shoes.
Yeah, right. Sure.
So if you'll notice, I very rarely, I often put clothes on a character and then like really try hard to take them off fast because it can be exhausting.
Sure.
And those boots, it's like boots were removed. Next line, you know.
Sure. We don't need to get into that. That's smart.
Nobody need because probably a servant came in to do that.
Yeah.
Or she's like yanking his
yeah, like how's that, right? Like tumbles across the room.
Anyway, there it all is. Thanks to Lord Byron to Beau Brummel for getting.
When I discovered that Beau Brummel was a real person, I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Beau Brummel is real, and he is also, sadly, it is not a thank you, Beau Brummel situation here.
Yeah, no, he's a bad guy. Yeah.
Because,
sure.
Men's clothes were really cool and like colored and had patterns and were beautiful and like were not like, they were amazing. And then he was like, black and white. Like,
let's make it boring. Yeah.
Gray, maybe navy blue.
Mm.
And listen, here's my thing is I wish men in the real world right now were more comfortable with putting on clothes that were beautiful and like colored and like extravagant.
I do think it's
we're getting
like better. Well, at like the
back,
celebrity level. Yeah, I mean, I think like there's been
stylists.
Right. But I
thank
think
God
like
for Law Roach.
Yeah, and like also like the Met Gala and right, like I think just like there's so many really beautiful. So I do think I hope.
But I just like teach your boys to like love color and not to make fun of other boys who love color.
Yeah, well, I mean, other kids like just like everybody wear their clothes, you know.
Yeah.
All right,
anyway.
I do have some contemporary.
And then blame Beau Brummel for
I do have some contemporary things that are not quite as fun as all of the historical stuff.
I have a couple too.
Okay. So I would like to say that if you were not around back in the glorious days of Twitter, Talia Hibbert once did a really funny thread, which has been lost to time, I'm sure, where she like challenged her boyfriend to like rip off her panties because that is always happening, right?
Yeah.
Like you just rip off
one hand,
just ripped her panties off, and essentially like modern day elastic is like the old timey whalebone. You can't rip that shit off. You can't. You cannot rip off someone's panties, and so that's always like one of my favorites. And listen, every time I see it, I giggle. And it was just like a really, really funny thread. It was just like so hilarious. So anyway, yeah, I would say that's like a modern underwear one is just like you can't rip panties off. You can't, right? Or bras. I mean, a modern day like bra, right? Like, no, absolutely not.
No, but you can. I did recently see somebody testing the can you rip a button shirt open?
Sure. I think that could happen.
Enough force, I think you really can. I believe in you.
One of my favorite, this is, not romance wardrobe, but there's a series of books I read that are like kind of my post-Reacher read, this Orphan X series. And he is like, an assassin, and he has these shirts that like are magnet buttons. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why. Like, of course, it's like
amazing.
He's got to rip it open to get to his shirt, and then they like go back together. And every time it is described, I just think, and then I hope some lady gets busy with you. It's great. They're really fun.
Can we talk about Oh, here it is. This is similar to the Mediste in historicals.
Oh, yeah.
But can we talk about the billionaire hero who sends clothes to his...
Oh, yeah.
Like this woman he just met?
He can just look at her and
he knows what size she is. And I'm like, sir,
and all the sizes are the same everywhere across lines. So
in romance clothes, all clothing, women's sizing is standard. And I appreciate, and that's how you know this is the female gaze here.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was that thread going around where somebody was like, could you explain the female gaze and the male gaze to me? Like the female gaze is all the clothing sizes are the same. An 8 in one is an 8 in all the others.
Right. Right.
And also the heroes know what the size is and don't. Yeah.
One of the things I do like about, I will say, like one of the things I like about like contemporary romance clothes is it does feel, I mean, some of this is still super gendered, but I mean, I feel like I've read really sexy, and of course I'm not gonna be able to come up with a book off the top of my head. Like I feel like I've read really sexy, like for example, like, like romances with like two women where like one of the women can do this. You know what I mean? Like I can just identify you on site or whatever.
Well,
like I know your size.
I took my daughter to buy a dress in
Bloomingdale's
this week, and this woman, the woman in Bloomingdale's. We were in the Soho Bloomingdale's. The woman in Bloomingdale's, her name was Coffee, and she was great. And you should all go. If you're in New York and you're looking to buy a dress, go see Coffee at Bloomingdale's. And she did take one look at my daughter, and she said what her size was. And I was like, really? You think it's not?
Yeah.
And she was like, no. And she brought a bunch of dresses, and she was exactly right. So I do think if this is your profession.
Sure, but it's never anybody's profession. Yeah.
A 4, a 6, an 8, a 10, they're all
Sure, exactly. It's so different depending on all that stuff. Well, I would say the other thing that I think is awesome about romance, contemporary romance main characters is that their underwear, if it's bras and panties or whatever, it always matches. And it's always silk. No one ever is just wearing a fucking sports bra.
Breathable cotton.
Yeah. No one's ever wearing Hanes,
Nobody. Nobody's worried about a UTI.
No, not at all. Which, again, I met somebody once who was like, oh yeah, I really just
always
love
match.
that.
I'm sure there are
and
people.
I was like,
listen,
I love that. God, that's amazing.
It's amazing
that, to me is higher living. Higher living.
That
through
does
underwear,
feel. It does
right?
feel like a class.
Oh well, yeah, that too. Yeah, sure.
Situation.
You have a lot of money. Yeah.
No, you're right. It feels like Sure. For me, that's the same as having an ice maker in your fridge.
Oh, well, I do have that. Well, my thing too, though, is if you are stuck somewhere overnight and you have to wash those things, hand wash them in the sink, they're always going to be dry the next morning. And I feel like when I hand wash things, it's
100%.
10 years later. Oh, I guess that's dry.
Oh, yeah.
Dry.
I mean,
right.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. They are dry when you need them to be dry.
There you go. Good point. Fair.
So
fair. Fair. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, tuxedos, all men know how to wear a tuxedo. And they all have one available to them. No one ever, no one's ever I got to go to Men's Warehouse and find a tuxedo.
No. Well, I mean, same thing, right? You need some sort of formal wear of any kind, and you either have it or you can get access to it, or your friend has it and theirs magically fits you, or right, some that is for sure a formal wear romance magic. That's just romance science, right? That's just romance science. Okay, I have a very specific suit thing that I think is really funny, which is when someone looks at a man wearing a suit and identifies, right? So this is another man or a woman or whatever, right? Their love interest looks at a man's suit and identifies.
I know what you're going to say.
It's an Armani suit.
Yes,
it's a Tom Ford suit or whatever. And now it's almost always an Armani suit. And I'm like, okay, I understand. And I actually had somebody explain this to me once. Apparently, the whole, pretty in pink, slouched suit was, such a really specific, look that Armani, right? People say that. But I was like, it's been decades.
And, they don't look the same anymore.
Right? I was like, but I kind of feel this way, when someone can identify, the exact notes of a smell, right?
Oh, well,
right?
That's romance smell. That's a different thing.
Sure, but I feel being able to identify the designer of a suit just by looking at it.
Oh, for a normal person?
What?
No.
I was again, that's a Men's Warehouse suit is a very different thing than, it always really makes me laugh. Again, now, if this is a person who loves fashion, but it's just a regular normie, he looks so great in his Armani suit. How do you know?
But did you see also there was a thread recently, and it was from a woman who was like, you guys need, if you're writing billionaires, if you're writing wealthy people, so this actually was a thing that got talked about a lot when Succession came out. Right. And here they were, the dressers were dressing billionaires. Right. And so it was how do you dress the characters of Succession?
Okay.
Because there is a whole other echelon of clothes.
Money. Yeah, sure. That
for
real rich people.
And the phrase is stealth wealth. And it's they wear a cashmere sweater. You can't get it unless you have access to this particular shop. and it's like, whatever, it's $8,000 a sweater.
Right.
And so, and somebody, I wish I could remember who it was, but I did read she posted it was 25 threads.
Yeah.
And it was all the different, these are the watches they would be wearing. These are the shoes they would be wearing. And it was brands that you have never heard of unless you have been very focused on stealth wealth.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I think is really interesting about that, and it speaks to this Armani thing.
Yeah.
I have two things to say about this. One is, it doesn't matter that it's not what a billionaire in 2026 would wear, as long as it codes to the masses,
the readers'
expense, right?
Yeah.
So I could give you the brand of tuxedo that billionaires wear now, but it would mean nothing to you.
Right, of course.
So Armani means
something, yeah.
Right? And therefore, that's what we use. The other thing that I think is really interesting here is that in contemporary clothing, and I think Armani is one of those interesting, Chanel, I think there's some things that pop up, Louboutins, in text where you're oh, that both codes fancy and it also will endure.
Mm-hmm.
But this is another situation where the pop culture reference, will it endure?
Right.
The, reference to whatever clothing brand, will it endure? And I remember having this conversation with my editor when I wrote Storms. Because I was listen, it's very realistic that I could name the brands that these characters are wearing. I had done a bunch of research on stealth wealth. I knew I had a list of things that they could be doing. And she was very much I would prefer you not.
Yeah.
So that it just feels timeless. It's blends in.
Yeah.
Even though, obviously, when you're writing a contemporary novel, it's not going to blend in. 20 years from now, it's not going to feel.
Sure. Right. There's going to be so many things that are different. Yeah.
Exactly. So those are just two thoughts about that. And then, of course, I feel we must have a nod, although we did do an entire episode on the masquerade. Romance mask.
Sure.
Which
Nobody's
is
going to recognize
you're going to put on that mask. It's going to cover a sliver of your face, and absolutely no one is ever going to be able to identify you. Although I think I've said this before on the podcast, but I feel it also bears repeating that Zooey Deschanel, if you see that woman without her glasses on,
it really does work.
If she changes her hair color, she looks like two completely different people. So,
okay.
Maybe it is.
All right. I have a few more. Wait,
yeah.
I have some more. Okay. All right. In contemporary romance, your love interest's gray sweatpants will fit you no matter what. Right?
Sure.
So it's
they expand and contract as at will.
Or shorten, or right, is really often what it is, right?
Yeah.
Or lengthen, right? And I appreciate sometimes in the first Hidden Legacy book, or one of them, Nevada's wearing Connor's sweatpants, and she's kind of bitching about how they're tight across her thighs, and I just really appreciated that.
Yeah, I like
right,
that
but
too.
I do feel sweatpants are super sexy, and that is great. But regardless of any actual on-page description, in the difference between the love interest body sizes, those sweatpants, if it is a prelude to or post-sexual situation, boom, they're going to fit. There.
All right.
Right? They just are.
Yeah.
No. That's it. That's for sure. That's all. That's how it goes.
That's just science.
That's just science. That's just romance science.
Also,
right?
I feel often... I feel this is true of all romance. We don't see a lot of laundry.
Oh, no.
We don't see a lot of clothes being laundered. Zoe Castile has that great book, Stripped.
Oh, yeah, right.
Where it begins actually with them having their laundry mixed up by the laundromat, which is fantastic. It's a great meet cute. And his stripper thong ends up
in her basket
she's
or whatever.
Late for work, and she doesn't have any clothes, and she opens her new laundry bag, and there's all of his stripper clothes inside. It's terrific.
Yeah. Yeah. Even you've got a bunch of fucking kids and there's no laundry. It just doesn't even really exist.
Perfect. A dream.
Right? Oh, exactly. Talk about female gaze, right? You know. And then I would say the other thing, I guess, yeah, I feel like we have seen a bit of a waning belief in the power of a Henley as being the sexiest shirt a modern man can wear.
What do you think is the new sexiest shirt a modern man can
I don't
wear?
know if there is one. I just feel like it used to be like so predictably like the description of like, right, like if he's like, I do think, however,
I think a Henley is a pretty great shirt. So.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I feel still sexy, but I feel like it used to just like always like be the shirt. I feel like, however, rolling up those sleeves and
I was just gonna say,
right,
that
showing
white
your
button
manly
down
forearms.
that endures.
Yeah, that it doesn't matter.
And listen, that comes from that pulls through from like deep in the annals of historicals. I mean, like that white, the smalls. And it, not necessarily a button down, pop could be a lace front.
Yeah.
But those sleeves are going to roll up. Here's what I will say, a very sexy thing that Joanna Shupe does in her books. Oh, we didn't even talk about the bustle, but also there's a bustle. But Joanna does this in her books, and actually it's really interesting. You may, if you ever watch Miss Scarlet and the Duke, they also do it there, and I think it's such a clever they don't even reference it, but when the Duke puts on, he's changing clothes at some point in his office, and that man is also gigantic. So, when Off the Rack began, clothing off the rack began in history, one of the things that is the problem is a men's shirt can be like whatever size it needs to be. It can get larger and smaller. I mean, woman's clothing should do this too, everybody, but like patriarchy. But sleeve length, right, is difficult, right? So they wouldn't necessarily, it was early days of Off the Rack. Like it was for, working or middle class people, like they couldn't get all their clothes tailored.
Yeah.
So they would get their shirt to fit through the chest, and then the sleeves would just be long. And then what you would do, you've probably seen this, like there's like a black band, an armband that like fits around a man's bicep, and they could pull, or fits like sort of lower than the bicep, above the elbow.
Yeah.
And what they would do is pull the sleeve fabric up through the sort of tight band, and until it was the right length on the hand, like on the cuff.
Yeah, right.
And then they would put on their jacket, and it would look like their sleeve was the correct length. And that's a cool little thing. Yeah. I'm not saying that's necessarily a romance thing, but it is a cool little thing that like makes...
I am sometimes convinced that like a historical romance author in particular, has challenged themselves to take something roundly considered unsexy and making it sexy.
Like that?
Yeah, but I would also say like in The Devil of Downtown by Joanna Shupe, he's wearing like a union suit. And I was like, what? That's not sexy.
Which can be deeply unsexy because it just looks like it's long underwear, everybody.
Right, exactly. With like a shoot in the back or whatever. But no.
It's not. It's unsexy when Jack puts it on.
Nope. So, yeah, sometimes I do think that I see like, you know what I mean? I am like really fascinated by
Did you ever watch the one in the Old West?
Oh, I do know Deadwood.
Deadwood.
Yes, God.
Thank you. God, did you ever watch Deadwood?
Hell yes, I watched Deadwood.
Al Swearingen wore a union suit.
He did. And
it was not
sexy. God, remember the scene where like, the sheriff finally gets with Alma and she takes off her... I mean, she's wearing the most beautiful like undergarments I think I've like ever seen. Like it was just like everything was so lovely.
Oh, Deadwood is such a great show.
God, I did think about Deadwood the other day. I was like, I should watch Deadwood. Yeah.
First of all, it's like Shakespeare. It's writing so good, is so good. And like, there's a character there's like a very shifty, like he's the innkeeper and he's just grifting all the time. Like he's so smarmy and grifty. And I read somewhere that the writer of Deadwood, and it's one of those shows where there's only one writer, like he wrote all the episodes and all the scripts, and that this guy was like not good at memorizing his lines. Like he was always nervous about like not getting the lines perfect. And the showrunner loved seeing him sweat. Like, he thought it was just such a good, like, his nervousness about the lines was coming through and like making him like even more smarmy. And so he would rewrite lines right before the scene every episode.
That's real messed up, man.
Which is torture. I mean, like, that's tormenting your cast. Don't do that, everybody. But like, God, it really.
That's funny. That's great. A+.
Anyway, Deadwood's great. You should all go watch it. But and then you can see the Union suit in the not sexy way.
The
and then go reread Devil Downtown. You'll be fine.
Gets a sexy one. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's all of the things I had for romance wardrobe.
I love this. We have definitely forgotten things.
Of course.
Definitely
I think
have.
people will be like, here's what you forgot, and we'll be delighted by it because there are surely many things.
Yeah, I don't have anything else either.
All right.
Except to say that, man, I love romance novels.
Same.
Sometimes I just sit in my office and I think, gosh, I love romance novels.
Same. Same. That's how, that's why we're two peas in a pod.
I just do. I love them so much, everybody. Like, I love it. I love how we like have all these weird, like, subtextual things. I love how, like, we all know the word bliaut, even though we don't know that word at all. Like, I fucking love it.
Yeah, me too.
And
that's why I think these episodes are particularly fun, because you're really like, okay, now we're really in it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you to all of the writers who came before, who gave us all these delicious, weird things to play with. I am Sarah McLean. I'm here with my friend Jen Prokop. We are Fated Mates. You can listen to us every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, if you head over to fatedmates.net, you can listen to us there. But if you click on episodes, you'll get the full show note experience for every episode. In episodes like this, we list any books that we talk about. We list articles or, information that we find as we go. Maybe, in fact, I have a little time this week. I think I will make sure that we link to some of these weird little things that are
fun.
So you can learn a little more about historical clothing if you'd like to. You can also find us online at Instagram and Threads at Fated Mates Pod and at Blue Sky at Fated Mates. If you like talking about romance novels, and if you too love romance novels, head over and join our Patreon, where you get one extra episode a month and access to our Discord, where people are talking about romance novels all day, every day. You can talk about your favorite things in romance wardrobe and all other things as well. It is coming up on the first weekend of March, and I am going to be in Rhode Island with, speaking of historicals, Adriana Herrera, Elizabeth Everett, Joanna Shoup, and Caroline Linden, talking about historical romance and why it endures. A bunch of those panels will be moderated by Kate Canterbury. You can still get tickets. It is free and open to the public, but you must register to attend. And if you'd like to come and hang out with us for a cocktail party afterward, there is a ticket for that too. Links will be in show notes. Anything else for you, Jen?
Nope.
Okay. Well, we think you're great out there. We hope you're dressing to, we hope you're blowing the doors off with whatever you're wearing right now.
You all look great.
You all do look great. We love you. Bye.